What's dangerous is that people who work for USAID are wearing masks to protect themselves from Musk. This is a dictatorship in the making. This is an attempt to take over USAID and then use that as the example to take over the EPA and Medicaid and Medicare. Donald Trump, Elon Musk makes unsafe cars, and now he wants to create an unsafe world. And cutting the programs that are at the heart of who we are as a nation. So Elon Musk said over the weekend that he was going to throw USAID into a wood chipper. What else is going into that wood chipper? Healthcare, democracy, fighting for the rights of those who are most desperate around the world, and sending a message that he is going to do the same for those who are most desperate in the United States of America itself. This is an historic moment. This is the time when we have to stand up and to fight, to not stand on the sidelines, to help people by the millions. People by the millions are going to have to stand up and protest. When we come back here the next time, there should be hundreds of thousands and millions of people descending on Washington, D.C. We need a march for freedom. We need a march for democracy. We need a march for justice, not just for people in our country, but all around the world. We are the moral force of the world. We are a democracy that people look up to. That building, that statue of freedom is the most famous building in the world. And there's a reason, because in every village in the world, in every hut in the world, they know that the United States stands for freedom and liberty. And that building is a symbol to all of them of what they and their countries should aspire to. When I went to Liberia, USAID was there to help with Ebola. When I went to Cape Verde, USAID was there to help with Zika. When I went to Nigeria, USAID was there to help with malaria. Yes, to help those people, but to prevent the spread of those diseases around the world. And we have to be on the front lines in order to make sure that we are providing that protection. That is who all of you are. That is what USAID represents, the best of our country, the best of who we are, the best of what we have to be as a nation. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are the worst of what our country stands for. And the only way to take back our government is to take to the streets by the millions, to demand justice, not just for the people in our country, but all around the world. Otherwise, they are coming for our clean air, for our clean water, for Medicaid, for Medicare, for the Affordable Care Act. This is just a preview of coming atrocities that Musk and Trump have planned for our country. So let's unfreeze USAID. But if they are not going to do that, let us get up and fight. Let us get up and resist until we have reclaimed the reason why we fought that American Revolution, and it was to make sure that we never again lived under a dictator, that never again did one person decide what our country stood for. Let's get up and fight. Let's go and get it done.
All right, everybody, how are we feeling? Thank you so much for coming out tonight.
It is based upon the great work that AID does. We've got to make sure, and Tim has said this more eloquently, whether it is the folks who've been furloughed or the people who are taking potentially Trump's illegal buyout offer, which there is no funding for at all, to think twice. We've got to make sure we get the AID workers back, get AID reopened, because as Chris said, where this is being celebrated right now is Beijing. It's Beijing. And until we can end up not letting China into this spot, we're making America less strong. And look at who we are voting against and standing up against. Tim, take it.
Okay, do you guys want to hear what we're doing to stop this? Right? There's a litigation strategy, a state court strategy, a legislative strategy in Congress, and a political strategy, right? So let us start with the fact. Let us start with the litigation strategy. You have seen us succeed in numerous court cases in the last few days, and we're going to win a whole lot more court cases. There is a coordinated effort that we are all involved with, 5 different kinds of lawsuits against this administration that we're very engaged in, and here are the 5. Suits to protect federal employees, including USAID employees. Suits to protect fundamental constitutional rights like birthright citizenship. Suits to protect the power of the purse. Monies allocated by Congress cannot be stolen by a president. They have to be used in the way they were allocated. Suits to stop private parties from rampaging through federal agencies, private parties like Elon Musk. I called him Elon Trump, I'm sorry. Freudian slip. Finally, suits to stop mass deportation and unfair treatment of people based upon where they are come from. These are going on right now because of these members of Congress and organizations around this country, and Donald Trump is going to get tired of us winning so many of these lawsuits. That's number 1. Number 2, in states with Democratic governors, you see Democratic legislatures and governors standing up against these unlawful actions. In Virginia, we have a Republican governor who won't stand up. But guess what? We've got 2 Democratic houses in Virginia, and those houses are standing up. So reach out to your state legislatures and tell them they can help in this too, and they are. Third is in Congress. We've got both legislative opportunities, nominations, but in the next 6 weeks, there is a budget battle in Congress, and Democrats will use our tools in that budget battle to stand up and make sure we get this stuff stopped as part of getting a budget done between now and the 14th of March. Finally, the Republicans are going to put a bill on the table. A bill on the table to give tax breaks to the wealthiest. Why are they wanting to shut down USAID? It's not that they really oppose the mission. They're grabbing money. They want to grab money from forcing federal employees to retire and shrinking the federal workforce. They want to grab money by not giving grants to organizations like the Child Fund, headquartered in Richmond, that's been doing international aid work for more than a century. Why do they want to grab the money? They want to put tariffs on products from other countries, which are taxes on everyday Americans for the goods that they buy. They're grabbing the money so that when they put a tax bill on the table in the next 6 weeks, they can give it all away to now. We have a coordinated strategy, but I've left out the last piece, the political one. We are where we are because we lost a presidential election and we lost 2 houses in November. We have a lot more tools in majority than we do in minority. I'm very happy in Virginia because the first big race that's going to show America what it thinks about a new Trump term is the governor's race in Virginia in November. If you are here and you're a Virginian, in that opening round, let's show the American public a right direction to counter the wrong direction. So for those of you who say you want something done, I'll go back to it. States, courts, Congress, politics, we need it all. Thanks.
Let me just say, you're going to see us do our job. And here's what I ask you. Don't just show up here. don't just show up here. They're not choosing. I was at community health center today in Virginia. They're getting shut down in red parts of the state and blue parts of the state. If you don't show up at your local elected officials, at your state legislators, we're only going to break this when we have Republicans willing to stand up as well. Put the pressure not just on us, but on everyone, every elected official level. That's the only way we're going to win this. Thank you.
Woman from California's 12th Congressional District, the most progressive district in these United States of America. I come to you today after 30 years of organizing on the ground, and one of the things that I know is that the Republicans, they are losing when they attack our healers. Our healers have been stranded all over the globe. USAID has kept the peace in the globe, and now we are going back. I want to be clear. I want to be clear that our democracy, and I hope you all agree with me, is on life support. In fact, it is in hospice. I want us to be clear that as Democrats who are coming here and standing in front of you, it is our duty to hold the line. It is our duty to act and not just talk. It is our duty to hold our votes. It is our duty to ensure that this administration doesn't take us back to an America in 1952, an apartheid America. It is important that we hold the line to accuse these folks of the laws that they are breaking. We are not colonizers. We are supposed to be a democracy that loves our neighbors. We are supposed to be a democracy that works to heal instead of kill. I gotta tell you one last thing. The Republican Party claims to love a Jesus that loves its neighbor, claims to love a God that blesses its people, to heal the sick, and to take care of the widow, to take care of the child with no mother, no father. We honestly must ask this party to reevaluate its own relationship with God. We will move forward.